to post on Twitter, and then we'll go.
Okay. Let's do this.
All right. Here we go. And record.
We are the New York Knicks. I'm back. Back in the New York groove. Well, it's the Knicks. New York. We are the New York Knicks. New York. For this new season we're about to enter, the Knicks taking no shorts just like winter. New York, New York.
New York be about the Knicks, huh?
But the best thing about New York City is K-N-I-C-K-S.
Everybody say go New York, go New York, go!
Go New York, go New York, go!
Hey everybody, welcome to the New York Knicks podcast, episode 571, part of Dash Radio. Mark, last week we were going to do a end of the season wrap up and playoff preview, and we didn't get to the playoff part, and the season didn't wrap up yet. So that's what we're going to do this week, the actual season wrap up and playoff preview.
Perfect. I want to just thank Jay for joining us tonight. Jay did not want to record tonight because he wanted to watch the entire WNBA draft. Luckily, he settled for just watching the first two rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Round 3 is going on. Jay, you can get back to, I know you're DVRing the WNBA draft. I won't tell you what happens in round 3, but I know you're excited.
Very, very into this.
When do we pivot from Knicks to New York Liberty podcast?
A couple weeks. We got
Okay.
Yeah, we got to see what's going on with the coaching changes or whatever, and then we'll just be the New York Liberty podcast.
Yeah. Are we going to do the play-by-play in which the entire game we're like, just dunk the ball. Just don't. Oh, none of them can? Oh, great. Sucks.
So, yeah, it's been an interesting last few games.
It has been interesting. It's always been interesting. What happened the last two games that has got, based on reading Knicks Twitter, I think the Knicks won the title in the last two games. Is that what happened?
I mean, they ended up with 37 wins, which I didn't think was possible a month ago.
Yeah, it's a solid. I mean, like, it's not a good season, but from where they were, it's a healthy finish. Only 8 games under, a lot to build on at the end of the season. And what's the big stories from the last couple games, Jay?
Toppin and quickly. I mean, here's Toppin the last 5 games. 20 points, 20 points, 19 points, 35 points, and a double-double, 42 points, 10 rebounds.
That sounds pretty good.
He had a plus 46 against the Magic.
That sounds pretty good. I can't argue with those stats. How's Quickly doing?
Quickly is also doing very, very good. His last 5 games, he had 17 and 7. He had a triple double, 20, 10, and 10. Little step back with six points, and then he had 23 and 10, and another triple double, 34, 10, and 12.
That's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Yeah, hard to argue with that. He had a good year. I mean, he had a good so what do you think about I guess what do you think about these last few games with these guys? Like what should we think?
I mean, the Knicks Twitter take is that Tibbs sabotaged the season and he didn't play them when they were this good. I don't know.
Jay,
I don't know if I'm fully on board with that take.
What do you think of this? I have his line for the end of the season line. IQ, he shot 39% from the field, but 40% from 3. He had what do you think of that? 39% from the field goal percentage and 40% from 3. He had I think 3 assists a game, a steal, and averaged about 11 points a game. What do you think?
I mean, the field goal percentage is bad, but the 3-point percentage is really, really good.
I'm reading Alec Burks' stats. Sorry. I know Burke sucks. Is it weird that it's so weird how I know you said this before It's like Randall's stats are terrible, but RJ's stats, which are the same, are great. IQ stats are great. Alex Burke's stats, which are actually better, are worse.
I also think Alec Burks did the impossible. I think he had a higher 3-point percentage than layup percentage this season.
Yeah, I mean the rim was crowded all season. Knicks fans are weird. I saw someone at one point. There was one game where Mitch had a terrible game, and Sims had like a plus 30 in the game, and the guy was like, "Can we point out how Sims was a lot better than Mitch tonight, or do we not do this for we don't do this for Mitch, we just do it for the other guys."
Right.
Yeah. It is kind of crazy how Burks shot so poorly at the rim. I don't have RJ's stats at the rim. I don't think they're very good either.
Yeah, probably not. Oh, as far as what to do after this week, Rob brought back a blast from the past, cutting down the nets.
Oh, that is a good idea. That's a good idea.
That's where we just trash the nets until they're eliminated.
We haven't done that in a long time, but they're in a play-in game, so we should trash the crap out of them.
When they first moved to Brooklyn, we did a 2-minute bit on that every episode.
Hey, I wanted to before we can come back to IQ and Obi in a second. I just found Knicks Twitter loses its mind with insanity at this point in the year. And just anything Knicks world, like the fandom. I had two things I wanted to read to you, Jay. The first one, I'm not going to read who actually posted them,
okay.
but because I also think these are just craziest shit ever. But it shows a picture of. It basically, the first line is, listen, there's absolutely no difference between these two players except the team each plays for. I'm going to read you the rest in a second. One of the pictures is IQ. Who do you think the next picture is?
Oh, it's got to be somebody like way out of his league, right?
There's no difference between these two players except the team they play for.
Is it going to be something like James Harden?
If Tibbs would have given the keys to Quickly the way X team gave their keys to this player, you'd have the exact same results. Quickly shouldn't be coming off the bench. Tibbs did that. What is a comparison that
Ja Morant?
It's Trae Young.
Okay.
I like Quickly. I think he's a good player. I dislike Trae Young immensely. Trae Young is so much better of a basketball player than IQ will ever be. I hope IQ gets better, but this is an absurd comparison. What do you think, Jay?
It's pretty absurd.
Also, Trae Young, his shooting percentage, he's a much better shooter than IQ. IQ hasn't shot over 40% in a season yet.
Yeah.
Just a completely out of your goddamn mind. And these are the things you see. You're like reading Knicks Twitter, and this is the shit I'm seeing. The other comment I saw, which I found just amazing. It was amazing. This was on Reddit. It was amazing for the response from the person had responding to this. The person says, if we didn't have Randall, we would at least be a play-in team. IQ, Grimes, RJ, Obi, and Sims as the starters, then all the juice at the bench. Now, it's not like a super team by any means. It's more like the 89-90 Pistons, a whole team of good players working together to win. As of now, 3 of the 5 starters are
the 89-90 the bad boy Pistons who won the championship.
But yeah, I don't even need to read the rest of this. The response is the 89-90 Pistons. What the fuck? They won a championship that year and had 3 first ballot Hall of Famers. Holy shit. They had 3 first ballot Hall of Famers. This is the team the Knicks are being compared to.
All because of Tibbs.
All because I mean, it's amazing. Also, I don't want to defend Tibbs, but people are out of their fucking minds with some of the things. They're like, literally everything goes wrong with the Knicks is Tibbs' fault. Leon Rose has done nothing wrong except for hire Tibbs. But they don't even get mad at Leon Rose for hiring Tibbs. It's as if Tibbs was forced upon Leon Rose. And they're like, the young players don't play. They've literally played. People are so mad at Tibbs for not developing the young players, yet he's developed them. Do you understand any of like the insanity? But people like, what the fuck's wrong with people?
No, he didn't develop them. He held them back.
Do you think if we started, would have been really weird if the day one of the season, Tibbs said, I know you just extended Randall for $125 million, but I'm starting Obi. And I know you brought in Kemba and we have Derrick Rose. I'm starting IQ.
I know you won. You got an all-star ballot and you were most improved player and you were second team All-NBA. But I'm going to start this second-year guy who hasn't really did much in his first year.
Yeah. Is there a chance that, I mean, before Tibbs got here, what development happened? Knox. Mitch didn't really develop before he got here. RJ was only 1 year in he didn't really develop that much before he got here. Who developed? Alonzo Trier? Did Porzingis develop a lot here? Who was developing? What's the last guy that really got better on like maybe Porzingis? Who got better as a Knick?
I don't know. Porzingis kind of year 2 was better than year 1, and then he kind of just stayed at that level the rest of his career.
Yeah, I mean he had like that run of like 15 games, and then just wasn't that good after that. He was posting up too much. Like what young players really develop? Obviously guys have developed in the Knicks, but there's a nice cold stretch of like guys not developing for in the last decade.
Don't say Frank.
No, I'm not gonna say Frank didn't really develop here. All I know is that maybe Tibbs knows a thing or two about development.
Yeah,
it's actually occurring. I know, like I get maybe he should have. Not maybe he should have given Obi more minutes earlier on. I get he should have maybe given Emmanuel Quickly more minutes earlier on. When the season was over, like after the All-Star break, he should have just started Emmanuel Quickly. But to act like development's not happening is ridiculous. I mean, act like he has no role in development is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's kind of weird, but
I also would say that I like how Quickly and Obi have been playing lately.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a chance their stats are a bit inflated by the fact that they're playing glorified G League games?
I would say it's more inflated by the fact that they're playing over 40 minutes a game.
Yeah, that too. But like, it's really like the competition hasn't been there. I mean, the net game, there was real competition, but like most of the games in the last like week or so, like the Raptors gave half an effort. The Wizards put out like a G League lineup against the Knicks.
Some of these lineups, you look and you're like, oh, this might be a cool matchup. And then you look and there's like 2 guys you've even heard of. It's like, I thought I knew everybody in the NBA. And then I looked at the Lakers game the other day and I was just like, oh, I don't even know where these guys are coming from.
I'd say the most, I mean, Obi and Quickly have looked promising. Obi's 3-point shooting has gotten a lot better.
He's been finished with a higher percentage than Randall after shooting 20% for 60% of the season.
I mean, I didn't want him to shoot threes, and now he's bombing them. He shot 14 threes against Toronto. He hit 6 of them. It wasn't even that ridiculous.
Yeah.
So we started having this debate offline. Or not a debate, but
Discussion.
Randall.
Yeah.
Randall's got, I mean, we agree on this fact. Randall has to go, right?
Yeah, it seems like not only is the chemistry better when he's not there, it seems like it's just the way everybody plays, his attitude. It's like he doesn't seem to fit.
No, they also play a faster style without him. There's no the biggest thing for me would be if when you took Randall off the court, that the Knicks couldn't figure out how to score. Because really, that's what Randall's biggest thing he gives them is scoring. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely not defense. You'd say scoring and rebounding, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, has there been any lack of scoring and rebounding without him?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, I don't think the Knicks like. I think the Knicks can just score without him. It's just his shots go to other people. I don't really think they need him for the scoring. Clearly, if he comes back, what do Obi's minutes look like?
It's gonna have to go down to like 15 again. You're not gonna have like an almost max player that's playing less than 30 minutes.
Right. So if Randall stays, he plays at least 30 to 35 minutes a game. So the minutes of power forward Toppin aren't there. Then you're going to try the experiment of Randall and Obi together. But if you're playing them together, then you have no point in bringing Mitch back. because you're making Toppin one of your centers.
Mhm.
And I don't know, like someone suggests the lineup of like, they're like, you could put Sims and Mitch out there at center, Randall at power forward, Obi at small forward. Like, do you really think Obi could play the 3? Can he guard a 3?
I mean, he's quick enough.
I don't. You think he's laterally quick enough? I don't think he can stay in front of a 3.
I don't know, but then if you do that, then you're playing RJ at the 2. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like you're really sacrificing defense in there because RJ's not the RJ didn't have the greatest year defensively, and you have RJ ran like that would be really like teams would be scoring like crazy against us.
Yeah,
and and also like you're also the spacing would suck because you have. I mean, I like RJ obviously, but RJ and Randall are kind of inefficient. Like, is Obi going to be able to really run the floor and have all the space? That's a really tough lineup to play.
Yeah.
It's a weird lineup.
Yeah, you'd have to play that in like very small doses.
Right. I mean, I feel like the more I've watched, I think I might have said last show, I don't think Randall and RJ are really playable together because they both are high volume and at this point right now, inefficient scorers. You can't have two of those guys on the floor at the same time.
Right. Oh yeah, Rob brought up a good point. When Randall went out with COVID earlier this year, Obi was really bad.
Yeah. No. Yeah. He had a bad game when he went out. That's true.
I mean, he maybe he just wasn't ready. You know. Now he is, and he's been unleashed.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know that Obi made some comments about how like early in the year he was scared to mess up when he went out there, and now he's been giving more playing time. He's playing with more confidence, which is probably true. At the same time, maybe Tibbs' short leash and early on forces guys to have better habits.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I really feel like the team. I would have said earlier that the team's number one priority this offseason was get a point guard. I think the number one priority has to be moving Randall.
I can't believe I'm thinking this too, but yeah, it really does seem like that.
I think the Knicks generally should just whoever they pay the most money to, they should make it the priority to move that player the following season. It does seem like a pattern, right?
Yeah, but I mean, on the plus side, the Knicks are officially not paying Noah anymore.
Oh, this is it?
This is it.
Yes. Okay. Stretch Randall. I just think like Toppin is a much more efficient player. Just based on how he scores. Also, he's not asked to. If Toppin was asked to be like to run the off or to be the focal point of the offense, he would not be as efficient. But the fact that he just basically scores on dunks and around the rim, he's much more fit. Like him out there, it just balances out better with RJ out there.
Yeah.
And everyone runs the floor. I mean, would you rather have RJ at the 3 and Toppin at the 4, or RJ at the 2 and Toppin at the 3?
RJ at the 3 and Toppin at the 4.
Yeah, I like this works better than having Randall, right?
It does. It does.
Okay. So we agree that the number one priority is to move on from Randall.
Yeah, I think it is.
How are we gonna do that?
Brent said Randall's like that dumb jock arriving at the party and the vibes start going sour.
So I am of the belief that he has very little trade value, and the Knicks are going to have to salary dump him, if anything.
I don't think he has like very little. I think you can call some smaller market teams, Portland or.
Ring. Hello. Hi. This is Portland. Jay, you called?
Yeah, we wanted to see what your interest in Randall is.
Tony Randall?
So you have a lot of cap space, so you don't really need to give up much.
Oh, okay. Why in God's name would we want him?
Do you need more scoring? You're playing like
we don't need Anthony Simons. Looks really good. I mean, we get Dame Lillard back. Why in God's name would we need Dame? Why would we need Randall?
That's two players, and you have like no big men. You have Nurkic, who's always hurt.
We have Nurkic. Nurkic's a pretty solid big man. We're going to develop a team. Why would we want to kill our development by getting Randall? He seems like he doesn't play well with young players. Hence the fact you're getting rid of him.
Dame seems like he's not going to stick around if you have complete trash around him.
Pretty sure if we get trade for Randall, Dame's really not going to stick around.
I think he'll be really good playing with an actual point guard.
Sure. Have you seen Dame recently? He's more of like a jack up threes kind of player anyway. I don't know if this is gonna work. And Randall didn't play too well with Kemba. We're gonna click on. We're gonna say goodbye. Bye.
I'm gonna send you a highlight reel. They're all from last year, but it's still a
Ring,
highlight reel.
ring. What? Hello. You're calling about trading Randall?
Yeah, we got a sale on Randall right now.
What team are you calling now?
I am calling. Damn, I was gonna say Sacramento. They already got Sabonis.
Hey, this is Sacramento. We already got the bonus. Leave your message. Bye. Ring. Hello.
Hi, Houston.
Hey, what's going on? We got Christian Wood. Why are you talking to us?
I feel like you really want to get off of that John Wall contract.
Yeah, sure. Sounds good. Sure, we'll get off of John Wall. John Wall, we pay him $44 million. He refuses to come to the arena. And there's no mental health issues. He just doesn't want to come, and we can't even fine him. It's absurd. So yeah, you want John Wall? We'll take whatever.
How about OKC?
Sure, we'll take OKC for John Wall. Oh, you're hanging up on me. Okay, bye. This is OKC. We have 37 number 1 picks for next year alone. We actually have the treasure trove of first round picks. Why in God's name would we not just take our first round picks and get someone better?
You have to.
Portland's on the other line. We can give them 4 first rounders for Dame and have 37 left over.
So give us one more for Randall. Then you'll have Dame and Randall.
By the way, no one's ever healthy here anyway. Why would we ever try to win in OKC when no one's ever healthy?
I mean, how many years are you going to tank?
Apparently a lot of years.
You have to start putting a team together at some point.
So we're gonna put it again. We got SGA. He's great.
You think
we
SGA
got Giddy? He looks awesome.
Hey,
we
SGA,
got Dort.
you know what? We're gonna tank your entire career.
Whatever. You know what? Why would we want to add a player that doesn't seem to like to play with young players to our young squad?
I don't think it's that he doesn't like playing with young players. I think it's that he likes being the man.
Okay, then keep him. Make him the man in New York. Bye.
I didn't know that you were asking me that question.
Ring.
Hello.
This is Dallas. What are you wearing? Are you wearing a Knicks uniform? Because that turns me on.
I know you really, really like ex-Knicks.
Oh my God, I love ex-Knicks. I love ex-Knicks. Tell me who. Can I have anyone? I'll take any contract you want. If you guys sell Joakim Noah, trade him to us. We need ex-Knicks.
I think Dinwiddie would work.
Oh my God, I just finished to myself. Dinwiddie. No, we're keeping Dinwiddie. But do you want Brunson?
Sure.
Okay, but only thing is, I want all the ex-Knicks, all of them. Can we get Walt Frazier?
Anytime we get rid of a Knick, you can have him.
Can we have Walt Frazier?
You could have Walker.
Are you guys just going to cut him?
I can't answer that right now.
Fine, we'll give you a first for Walker. Whatever. We just need ex-Knicks. By the way, Frank Ntilikina, he sucks. Don't tell anyone we said that.
Well, 4 years of highlights could have shown you that.
I think he's going to be hard. I think the best places to. Oh, ring.
Hello.
This is the Lakers. This is not LeBron James. I am not. LeBron James is not the GM. This is not LeBron James putting on a fake voice.
Okay. Hi, LeBron? You don't even know the Lakers GM's name?
This is not LeBron James. Okay. I'm not putting on a fake voice.
Okay.
Anyway, have you heard of? There's a really. Do you know there's an NBA player who averaged a triple-double for 3 straight years?
Wow. Go on. I'm listening.
Yeah, he's so good. Do you know he's one of the Please take Westbrook. Please take Westbrook.
Well, by going on Lakers Twitter, I feel like we would have to give up too much if you threw in Talon Horton-Tucker.
Did you know Talon Horton-Tucker scored 40 points in one game because he's a goddamn god? And if you get to pretend Obi's a god, we get to pretend Horton-Tucker's a god.
Every fake Lakers trade is like, yeah, just get Dame. We'll throw in Talon Horton-Tucker. Call it a deal.
What if it's Taylor Horton Tucker and our 2027 first round pick for Giannis? Who says no? I saw the Westbrook trade or the John Wall, those salary dumps. Yes, I do think you could trade Randall for a worse contract, or Dallas has to lose in the first round.
Yeah, I mean, well, they definitely could.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you see any other, like, realistically, it has to be, I don't think a young developing team is going to really want Randall. I think it has to be a team that's, like, pretty good, trying to get better, kind of cash strapped, or kind of like salary cap strapped. So we're like, they might fall for taking Randall and thinking that maybe he'll fit in.
Right. Yeah.
And I also bet if he goes to Dallas, Randall will be awesome.
Dallas or Utah?
You think Utah? That's what.
I mean,
Is
they're playing each other in the first round, and either one of those, whoever loses in the first round, is going to want to probably blow it up.
Right. I mean, Dallas. Well, no, because neither team can blow it up because you can't blow it up if you have Donovan Mitchell and keep him, and same with Doncic.
Well, I mean, make drastic changes. So like, I mean, like with Dallas, like you don't want Luka to leave, so you're gonna have to try and make a move, and maybe getting former Most Improved Player of the Year is appealing.
Isn't it funny? You're like, but we have him under contract for 4 more years. Well, how could he leave? Oh, it's the NBA. He can leave anytime he wants.
Yeah, you just say you want to leave, and then they just go.
But he fits in so well. Like with that offense, like they need another big. Randall's big. A guy that can really rebound. He could be a force around the basket. Doncic could feed him the ball. He might be a much better fit there than Porzingis would be.
Yeah, I think he might be, actually. I think that might actually be a legitimate trade.
Also, it means that if they get Randall, it means they're 3 years away from getting Obi from the Knicks.
Yeah.
every Knicks power forward eventually goes to Dallas.
Yeah. And shooting guard.
Let's go to a couple of questions. Oh, by the way, Leon Rose spoke for the first time yesterday in like a year. He spoke to hard-hitting. Did you hear who he spoke to?
No. Who did he speak to? Oh, Berman?
Yeah, he went in front of the New York Knicks media and took a lot of questions from the media. Oh, sorry. No, Leon Rose went in front of MSG and only took questions from MSG, meaning basically he wrote his own questions.
Cool.
He did say that he gave a couple comments. He said Tibbs is doing a great job. Sounds like Tibbs will be back. He said Randall has actually generally been good. He had some confidence issues, but he made a point that Randall was 20. He's one of the only guys in the NBA, only one of 3 players that was 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists a game.
Cool.
That's pretty good. The way he was talking, it sounds like either Randall's coming back or he's trying to talk Randall up.
Believe these things. That could just be a PR spin.
Yeah, or he's just trying to talk Randall up because he's going to trade him. The one thing he said was he made a comment about Mitch and saying how they're going to have to evaluate Mitch bringing him back. And one of the things they have to evaluate is his injury history. I don't think Mitch is coming back.
I don't either. I mean, he does have a very extensive injury history.
I don't think he was all in on bringing him back, basically. Yeah, I mean, he played 72 games this year, but like, I know he played 72 games, but he was hurt for a number of the games. He came into the year out of shape, or not out of shape, but not in, well, this year he started this year off not in perfect shape, not in great shape because he had the foot injury, which kind of limited his ability.
I honestly don't know how it was 72 games. I feel like he was hurt every other game.
He was hurt a lot. Yeah. Do you want to go to face some questions?
Yeah.
Oh, here.
NYKnicksPodcast@gmail.com. We did not get an email.
Okay, so I'm from Twitter. Michael Sorten writes, do you see Obi Toppin as being a better version of Amari Stoudemire since he has at least a clue on how to play defense?
That's an interesting comparison.
Okay, Amari Stoudemire in Phoenix was like freaking awesome.
Yeah. I think it's
I
too
do.
soon to say that, but maybe sometime in the future. That's interesting.
I think that's a stretch. I think one of these like Stoudemire, like you remember how good he was in Phoenix?
Yeah, I think people are also forgetting how good. Well, a lot of those players were like ridiculous in Phoenix, but
Yeah. I also he had a lot of moves around the basket. He was a better like I like Toppin a lot. I think Toppin is he kind of can remind you a bit of of Amari, but and Amari was completely lost on defense, especially like I think Amari. People remember Amari post injury in New York.
mhm.
When he first got here, Amari was also like freaking awesome.
Yeah,
Like that first year when people were giving the MVP chance.
yeah, yeah.
He is. I would say Amari might be top in ceiling.
That's fair. I mean, I don't know if his 3-point shooting gets better. He could be a.
Do you really see Obi getting as good as? I mean, like Amari was a legitimate all-star. Do you think Toppin will be an all-star?
I don't want to get too excited about 5 games at the end of the season.
It's a weird sample size to get to. Like it's a small sample size at the end of the season. As we just said, Horton Tucker, here's a who, got 40 points in the game also.
Brent said our Stoudemire episodes were always the best Knicks pods ever. Thank you.
Thank you. But Stoudemire is definitely like the comparison. Even if he's Stoudemire light, he's still like. It does help that Stoudemire had a generational point guard, and as much as like what Toppin has, IQ is fine, but IQ is not Steve Nash.
Yeah, yeah.
So, by the way, I'm sure someone will put the picture of like IQ next to Steve Nash. There's no difference between these two players.
Rob said
Trey
our
writes.
Woodson Felton era podcasts were always hilarious.
They
Had too many bad seasons in a row, and it kind of just sucked the life out of us. We gotta get our creative juices flowing again.
That's true. Trey writes, is moving Randall an actual good idea? Contract is immovable for actual assets, and trading away assets just to get rid of him seems like a team going backwards again. Would you prefer to see another season of him and pray to the basketball gods he returns to some kind of form?
The problem is if he plays bad, he's going to be even harder to trade. You're definitely going to stunt Obi's growth. And yeah, like you're paying a guy like 10 times as much to do what Obi's doing. So
I think this. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, I just think that you're paying 2 guys to do the same thing, and one of them makes a lot more. So it really doesn't, from a roster standpoint, I feel like if Obi is able to, if you really believe that Obi can keep up what he was doing, I'm not saying 30, 40 points a game, but 18 to 20, it really doesn't make sense to keep Randall around when you can get a backup power forward for like $5 million and use that money toward a different position.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing you said there, like, I don't even care about playing 2 guys to like, I think the fact that they really stunts Obi's growth, and you have to pick a direction with these 2 players.
Yeah.
It's really hard to envision them both thriving. Well, if Randall could thrive with Obi here, because he'll just play over Obi, but Obi really will not thrive with Randall here. And I feel like their future is brighter at this point with Obi than it is with Randall.
Yeah.
Mostly because Obi seems to try every play, where Randall like seems to be in a pissy mood all season.
Yeah, it seems inexplicable, but you don't want a head case on the team either.
Yeah, exactly. Like he was in a pissy mood all season, a head case. This is really going to work out. Nana the Man writes, looking back at last season and that insane rookie class, was the Knicks getting the 4th seed actually worth it? The 1 year they should have tanked is the 1 year they had success. Cursed franchise.
I mean, you can't really just pick when they're going to be good, and you can't tell them to stop winning when they're winning. It was unfortunate timing, but I wouldn't say it was a mistake. It was just like
I think it's unfortunate. I think he means just unfortunate timing.
Yeah, it was unfortunate timing.
Flynn's page writes, if Randall is moved, could IQ and Obi fill that void as far as scoring production? Could they be those legit second options for RJ?
Yeah, you don't need like a 20, 25 point a game scorer. You can do more like committee, scoring by committee type of thing. You
Yeah,
if
I mean,
everyone gets, if you have like 4 guys that get between 15 and 20, like that, you're good.
I think you take Randall off the court, RJ gets some more points. He gets hopefully over 20 points a game. Obi's a 16 to 20 point a game guy. You think IQ should be 10 to 15 points a game. You find the points. Like I don't see. I think that works better. Flynn's page also writes, or is someone like Brogdon or Brunson necessary to be brought in?
I guess it depends on the price.
It's rumors that the Pacers are interested in dumping Brogdon. If they're interested in dumping Brogdon, I would take him.
I'm just worried that he never plays like more than 60 games.
Well, I completely agree with you, but like if he's healthy, he's a pretty darn good player.
Yeah.
And if they're not like all of this is them dumping salary, if they're not looking for real assets for him, then sure, I'd take him.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not really giving up anything too big, yeah.
Yeah, if it was something like I don't know how long his deal. Let's just say it's like the Knicks give up Evan and Burks for him. Where the idea for them, they're like, well, Evan and Burks are off the books after this season. Where Brockton's like 3 more years. I would do that. I don't think that's a crazy thing to do.
Yeah.
Brunson, and Brunson, I think would be like as good as you might think IQ is. Brunson, you could use another point guard here, and you know what? Brunson and IQ could probably play together as well. I mean, Brunson plays next to Doncic.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
The Knicks had their most success in the last decade when they played 2 point guards together.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume also when Derrick Rose returns, you might see Derrick Rose and IQ together on the lineup. I mean, no one's against that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to talk some playoffs?
Yeah, we got to go pretty quick. We're almost out of time.
Let's go quick. So first we have the playing games.
Let's just do what we think the matchups are going to be.
Well, just say who you think will win the playing games.
Okay. Well, the Nets are going to beat Cleveland.
Yeah, totally fair.
And I think Atlanta is going to beat Cleveland. I think Cleveland's just too banged up right now.
I think Cleveland could beat it. I think I'm going to predict Cleveland's going to beat Atlanta.
Okay. Yeah. I'm
going to say Nets and Atlanta, and the other side, or the other division, or other conference. Clippers are going to beat Timberwolves, right?
I think so, and then I think Timberwolves beat whoever wins the New Orleans.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, so let's go. Let's go first round matchups.
Okay, first round. So we have Miami and either Atlanta or Cleveland.
I guess. Okay, fine. Miami versus you want to say Atlanta? I'll go with Atlanta there. Just so we have the same teams. Miami beats Atlanta in 6. It's a tough series. I think there are a lot of tough series here.
Yeah, I think that's going to be. I think Atlanta is going to be a tough out again, but yeah, I still go with Miami.
Okay, Celtics versus Nets. That's interesting.
That is. It sounds like their center's coming back in time. Celtics.
Oh, okay, Williams.
So that's going to be. I think that's going to be a difference maker. I'm going to go to Celtics in 6. They'll probably get 1 or 2 like supernova games from Durant, but I don't think they have enough.
It almost feels like the upset to pick the 2 seed here, but I'm going to take the Celtics also because the Nets you feel like should go further. The Nets don't look very good.
They don't. Curry's banged up. Simmons isn't going to be ready. They're too thin right now.
I was watching them. I mean, I know they beat the Knicks like last week, but they didn't look. I mean, outside of Durant and Kyrie are great, but the whole team doesn't look. I mean, Drummond couldn't even play against the Knicks. He just looked terrible.
Yeah.
I really don't see them being the Celtics. I think the Nets, and that will be a wonderful cutting the Nets episode where we just go off on the Nets the entire episode for
It would be great
How-
because you would have both like super teams. One didn't even make the playoffs, and the other one gets bumped in the first round. That'd be great.
that would be goddamn awesome. You got Milwaukee versus the Bulls. Milwaukee in 5.
Yeah,
The Bulls are banged
that,
up.
that
also.
might even be a sweep. Bulls are so banged up. That's
Okay, I
gonna
think-
that's going to be the quickest series of the whole playoffs. I think.
Sixers Raptors.
Sixers. I really, really want the Raptors to win this.
I know.
I dislike watching Harden so much. It's possible. It's possible.
I'm going to take the Raptors in 7.
I'll go with that just because I don't want to. I don't even.
I don't want to see. I do not want to see James Harden in the next round. Okay, then the second round would be the Heat versus the Raptors. What do you got?
Going Heat. It's gonna be
I'm gonna go.
Heat 6.
Okay, fine. Then the Celtics versus the Bucks.
Bucks.
I want to say Celtics.
Okay.
Man, it's probably the Bucks. I don't want to pick the Bucks again. That's all. So you're gonna have the Bucks versus the Heat in the conference finals.
I guess, yeah. And I
And the
think,
Bucks back in the finals.
I think so, yeah.
I mean, the Bucks seem like the team that should. I am going to go out on a limb here and take the Celtics in the finals. They've been one of the best teams
They've
in
been
the
on an absolute tear, and it's absolutely the crazy thing is like you could have any of like the top 5 or 6 teams in the East come out. It's
Yeah,
East
yeah,
is
you
so
really
tight.
could. That's really tough. Okay, let's go to the West.
Okay.
So we're gonna have the Suns versus the
Timberwolves.
T-Wolves. 4-game sweep. But no, game 5. I think the T-Wolves take one game.
T-Wolves take one.
Yeah, but 5. Okay. Memphis versus the
They'll
Clippers.
be a tougher out than the Bulls.
Yeah, Memphis versus the Clippers. What do you think?
Memphis, I think that's 5 too. I think the Clippers are just outmatched there.
I think this would be a close series. I think 6. I was going to say 7. Memphis is still going to win, but I don't know. The Clippers are going to be a tough out. You don't think?
I don't know. It's the Clippers are so like I don't even know who's playing from day to day. They're so injury prone.
They have Paul George though. He's back.
and Powell
And,
just came back too. Yeah.
How are we convinced that all the young players in Memphis are going to play that well in the playoffs? Okay,
Yeah.
let's say Memphis. Let's say Memphis advances.
Yeah,
okay,
I'm
so
gonna say Memphis wins, but yeah, it might be closer than I'm thinking.
it could be a 7-game series.
Yeah.
Denver versus Golden State.
Denver, Golden State. I think Golden State.
I think Golden State's going to have a lot of problems with Jokic.
I mean, Jokic is amazing. It's just, his 2 best teammates are injured, and the rest of his supporting cast isn't great.
I'm going to take Denver in 7.
Okay.
You taking Golden State?
Yeah.
Okay. I think there's going to be some upsets. Dallas, Utah.
Dallas, Utah. It all depends on Doncic, doesn't it? Like he limped out of last game.
Yeah, I'm going to say Utah in 6.
Yeah, I'm thinking it didn't look great. I'm thinking he's not going to be 100% for the playoffs, so that would put Utah over the top.
So who are you got in the conference finals? Who's going to win here? Is it going to be Phoenix versus Memphis, or are you going to have Phoenix versus Golden State?
See, that also depends on if Curry comes back. I'm guessing Curry does come back. He's been out for a while.
Yeah, I think he'll be back.
So I'm thinking we get Phoenix, Golden State.
That'll be a hell of a series.
Yeah.
So are you thinking Phoenix back against Milwaukee in the finals? Is that the finals you're predicting, Jay?
I'm gonna go upset. I'm gonna say Golden State, Milwaukee.
Okay, that seems interesting.
As much
I
as
have
I
Phoenix
don't like,
versus Boston. I don't know what's going to happen. This is an awesome playoffs because it's so hard to figure out who's going to go.
I know. I mean, I don't want Boston to win, but I think Golden State, Boston finals would be interesting.
That would be interesting. I mean, I mean, there's a decent chance it ends up being Phoenix against Milwaukee again, but there's so many different ways it can go.
Yeah, definitely not a given. And Phoenix is a completely different team if Chris Paul is not there. And for him to go another 4 rounds without getting injured, you never know.
Yeah, there's a decent chance Chris Paul is just injured before the finals. I think I picked against the Grizzlies. Grizzlies could go in the finals. It's not crazy.
Yeah, the West is pretty wide open too.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the question really in Milwaukee, and I know I try to pick against Milwaukee, but like, can anyone shut down Giannis for a series? Not shut him down, but like keep him in check.
No, you just have to hope that Holiday and Middleton just don't go off as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing with Philly. Like Embiid's going to get 35, but you just hope he can shut down Harden. And
just like Harden, keep doing step back. Harden, you're amazing. You're the same Harden it was 5 years ago. Just keep doing what you're doing, Harden.
Yeah, exactly.
Who screwed up more? The Nets, when they both lose in the playoffs, who will screwed up more? The Sixers or the Nets when it comes to the trade?
I think the Sixers, because the Nets are still going to have Curry and Drummond able to play. Like Harden could do his usual like playoff flame out and then leave. And then you lost all those draft picks and 2 really solid rotation players. And you're just left with nothing.
Also, if Harden sucks in the playoffs and Sixers get bounced like in the first round, do you really want Harden back?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and then he's going to want like $50 million a year. Like it's not a good situation either way.
No, it's I mean, at least the Nets have the theory that Ben Simmons might play for them next year.
And he's still young enough where he can make a full recovery and be good again.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Harden's in his 30s. Like odds are he's peaked and he's
probably going down a little bit downhill from here.
Yeah.
But should be interesting. But it's the Knicks, so we're a Knicks show, so we're done with the playoffs for us.
Yeah.
Like we are every year.
So we're going to go to every other week. We'll check in after each round and talk about that. In the meantime, we're going to start doing more of our comedy podcast, The Brink of Sanity. You can check that out, brinkofsanityshow.com, or just look it up on iTunes or Spotify. And thank you, Rob and Bren, for joining the chat. Appreciate it. And
it was another fateful Knicks season's. The Knicks season's over, and
we've been doing this for what? This is our 13th season we covered.
Yeah,
great.
You're gonna make me cry.
So thanks again for listening. We're NY Knicks Podcast on pretty much all of social media: Facebook, Patreon, Instagram, Twitter. So check us out there. And we have a Discord too if you want to chat with us in there. Links are also on Facebook and Twitter if you want to join the Discord group. So thanks again for listening, and we will see you all in 2 weeks unless you join us for the Brink podcast. Same links for Twitch and YouTube for Brink if you want to join live. All right. See you all soon.
Bye, love. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye. You better go away. I'm gonna leave you. It's the end. Goodbye. Goodbye. Just leave me alone. Feels so good to say goodbye. I'm sick and tired and I'm saying goodbye. Goodbye, girl. Goodbye, 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 everybody.
All right.
Yeah. Next season is over.
Another season in the books.
It's always over.
I can't believe we started this podcast thinking, oh my God, perfect timing. Another
Perfect timing.
another decade of like playoffs.
I mean, they got Amari. They're going to be good for a long, long time.
They got a nice young core. 3 months later, oh, where'd the young core go? Oh, they're all gone. Great.
We were so excited when they got Melo. You were, I mean, like you were a little hesitant, but like you just kind of went in.
I thought they gave up too much, but
I think we both agreed, but I think we both thought it would be like, even they gave up so much, they were like, well, Melo's going to be awesome here.
That picture of Felton, Gallinari, Chandler, and Mozgov like in Denver, kind of just looking up, like that picture just made me so sad.
I mean, it's not like Denver worked out that well. Denver turned the pick into Jamal Murray, one of the picks, right?
Yes, which would have been very, very nice. Chandler got injured. Mozgov turned up being a bust. Who knows how it would have worked out with Felton? Like, I think he got depressed in Denver, and that's when he gained all that weight.
Gallo was like injured so much he wasn't. It took him a while to get good again.
It did. He had spurts, but
yeah, the draft pick's probably the thing that hurt the most.
Well, I mean, having the draft picks and Melo and all those guys would have been great. Just they didn't.
Yeah, you're right. It also just he never was a great fit next to Amari.
Who would have
and
thought?
I feel like this Obi like Randall thing, and again, different players, but like it's equally just not a good fit.
Yeah,
and you have to you can't pretend to play them both together and they'll just work out.
Exactly.
I have almost zero faith that Leon Rose will figure this out.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be the same roster. We're gonna have everybody back. They're gonna make no moves.
I mean, he screwed himself by basically going like, "I'm gonna draft Obi to replace Randall," and then he's like, "Oh, well, these offers for Randall aren't great. I bet his trade value will go up during the season. Oh, Randall's awesome. I'll just lock it in with Randall. Oh shit, he sucks. Now what do I do?"
Yeah. Should have went with his first instinct.
I mean, how crazy would it have been if after last season he traded Randall off an All NBA season? Knicks fans would have been like, "What the hell are you doing?" And that would have been one of the most brilliant moves in Knicks history.
Yeah. Then they would have had a meltdown, and everyone would be like, "Oh, I get it now."
You don't follow baseball that closely, but do you remember R.A. Dickey?
No.
He was a knuckleballer. The Mets had him. He won the Cy Young for the Mets. You know what the Mets did after he won the Cy Young? They traded him. They said, "This is the best he'll ever be. We don't expect more from him." They traded him. They got some solid young players for him. It was like a pretty good trade. And I thought at the time, I was like, "This is crazy. The guy just won the Cy Young. You're really trading him?" He was never very good. He was never that good afterwards.
Awesome.
The Mets saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
Knicks, on the other hand, probably would have given him like a $300 million contract.
Exactly.
Anyway.
All right. I'm going to get going.
Okay.
If I don't
will
talk to you before, have a great vacation.
Thank you.
And thanks again.